All right, guys, this is our pavilion. I've got a ton of ideas of things I want to do, a lot of projects that I want to do to improve this place because we want to turn this place back into an event location, and this is really the center of what all that is going to be. But before I can do anything, Lauren told me that I have to make a video touring you through it, showing you what we've got and what we're starting with. Okay, so this is the first section of the pavilion. Behind me is the only spot that we have a concrete pad. And it's also with this big table that we have set on it. Because of the concrete pad, because of the table, it's the place that no matter how much space we have and no matter how many people we have, everybody ends up just circling their chairs around this table. So I think part of the issue is that we need a floor across the whole thing. So eventually we're gonna refloor the whole thing with, like I said, concrete or turf or something more fun, and then spread out more tables across so that it kind of draws people into the space. All right, so this is the main bulk of the center of the pavilion, and it's kind of no man's land somehow. We've got a fire pit, a little fire pit set up here. We've got this big tall table behind me as well. And it's, as much as we want people to hang out in here, again, everybody seems to move forward all the way to the front of the pavilion. And this is just sort of empty, dead space. What are we gonna do with it? I'm not sure yet. But really, when it comes to having an event location, a lot of this needs to just be open space to be versatile so we can set up, tables for 200 people potentially in the middle. Okay, this is my stage. So far, this is the only thing I've actually done in the pavilion. It still needs more improvement. It still needs a little bit of expanding. I want to bring it all the way to the ends of the pavilion. I want to close in the top, and it kind of needs walls in those first sections to close it in to kind of protect the stage, protect the sound equipment, really. But not just the stage, but then these pews. Eventually, they look good here right now, but really this needs to be an open space. It's got to be an open space for dance floor, for a crowd to come right to the stage if there's a band playing, if it is a music venue. So this is the end of the pavilion, but it's not the end of the tour. So we have our stage, and one of my favorite things is this opening will eventually maybe be a curtain. That's kind of what I'm seeing. And then there's actually a big step down here where there's a missing bit of this deck that I'm gonna have to connect this area into this area, which is our backstage sun deck. Okay, so here we are backstage on the sun deck, as we like to call it, and it's called the sun deck because it gets an absurd amount of sun, which is not great for this floor, and that's going to be another project. It's a project we started when we first got out here. We did some fun paint job on it, and we knew that because it's really beat down on the sun, nothing's permanent out here. It was a great place to just try out some fun ideas, but eventually I'm going to come across, probably redeck all this, do something to make it more substantial so it can handle all this sun. But then behind us are the bathrooms, and we'll show you those next. Every guy's favorite place to pee is in the woods. So I said, how about we just make it feel like you're peeing in the woods? So let me show you what we did here. So come into the woods and let's pee. All right, so here's the men's bathroom. We've got all these pine trees stripped in half, put up on the walls. And then we got our urinal just sitting right there in the woods. it's pretty cool. It doesn't need much work. It just needs upkeep, cleaning, make sure it stays solid wood, solid and usable. But this is the men's bathroom, and I think it's pretty cool, and I don't think it needs much work at all. So this is the women's bathroom. This is something that we probably want to update, change a little bit. You know, it's got pretty girly things, teacup lights, but mostly it's still just a lot of raw plywood, raw wood walls. That you know, the floor's got a cool little detail painted on it, which is great. But it just needs a little more. We're gonna add a little more to it just to make it more fun. And this is where Lauren really, this is where her best work comes out, where it's just a fun space. All right, so there's your quick pavilion tour. You know, I make it look like there's a lot of work to do, and there is a ton of work to do because we have a ton of ideas. But I want to make sure that we're enjoying the whole process. Like, to be honest, as much as I say there is to do out here, and it feels like I don't want to give the impression that this place isn't awesome as is. This place is amazing already. All right, I did my part of the deal. I made the video for Lauren. Now I'm ready to get to work. I'm excited to get down and dirty in some of these projects. I'm guessing maybe the next thing that we'll see a big change is this big pallet wall behind me. Hopefully it'll be gone and something wild and crazy will be up there. And then from then on, we'll see what comes next. We like to make things weird and wild, and we want them to look cool and function and be really unique spaces that provide for really great experiences.